As of June 25th, farm gate prices for Robusta FAQ were down between 10,000 to 11,000, while Robusta Chiboko was ranging between 5,000 and 5,500 per kilogram. Arabica parchment featuring between 14 and 15,000, with Bogisu commanding a high 24,334. The Ministry of Agriculture attributed that decline to global oversupply, improved weather in Brazil, and a rebound in Vietnamese and Indonesian production. We spoke to some of the big stakeholders in the coffee industry, but not everyone is alarmed.
So whatever we see now is a good plus. There are bad pluses and good pluses. This is a good plus. Has it come down? Yes, it's come off to levels of our FAQ right now is about 12,500, okay, between 12,000 and maybe 13,000. Also depends on how you've actually looked after your coffee. All these coffee exporters can tell you. And you can get a lot more information from them. Will the price go back up? Yes, potentially can. What are the drivers that have led to the coffee prices coming off? Yes, number one, we know it's Brazil. But we should also have empathy for what those guys are going through. I mean, they had frost. You don't have frost here in Uganda, but if you've been any of the outside countries and you have frost, everything like goes flat. So you can imagine you've planted your hectares of coffee and frost comes and wipes it out. It's a bad experience. Then they also hit around the same time or right after with this hot season. There the heat hits them or hammers them so bad, and as in the plants, and they dry. You don't want to see that. Now, for them to have recovered in 1.5 or 2 years is a miracle. Let them enjoy. It's their time. Have the prices here come off all the way back to the 8,000? No. So we should also be happy and thankful to God for what we have. Can they drop further? Yes, they can.
Even as global dynamics squeeze prices, Uganda's coffee sector remains resilient. The call now is for farmers to plant more and add value to secure better earnings in the future.
The price of coffee is even going to be much higher. Time is going to come even when the speculators cannot do much. I'm telling you, the real time of fighting for a cup of coffee is coming, and that some people may not have the opportunity to, taste a cup of coffee.
And it's not just in Uganda. A Ugandan coffee retailer based in Beijing, China, says they are feeling the strain too. Inconsistent supply from Uganda and some dealers holding onto stocks in anticipation of better prices. He also notes rising competition in Beijing, where some Chinese brands based in Uganda are aggressively targeting the same specialty coffee market Ugandan retailers are trying to serve.
Since farmers are suggesting to hold back their products or their produces until maybe prices fare up, which is to us, of course, which is a better idea, but still for the world market, it is not fair. And also, as you're aware, we have so many competitors back home, including the Chinese themselves. They are back home doing what we are doing. So it is becoming a little bit challenging, because now we have to meet the clients' expectations. Some of them that we had signed contracts with them, now they are withdrawing back, because most of these people believe in spot. They believe in spot, not futures trade.
Vietnam's export surge, currency volatility, and rising oil prices may all be reshaping the coffee trade landscape. But long-term demand, especially from the EU, US, and China, is still expected to grow.
Our focus should be the primary production. Focus on production. That is a constant and still remains a constant for every economic activity you are into. You went in for production, focus on production. If you find a tomato farmer, he says, no, the prices now have gone up, but tomatoes are coming from Kenya. There's that farmer I know in Masaka. The guy focuses on 40 acres of tomatoes. Every week he has a truck to sell off. Man.
And while all this is happening, at the World of Coffee 2025 conference in Geneva, coffee leaders, trade policymakers were showing optimism, but calling on market leaders to make the right decisions for the betterment of the sector across global markets. For Uganda's coffee sector, the message is clear. Production must be sustained, risks must be managed, and positioning for a rebound is key. Malcolm Sime, NTV Tonight.